Welcome everyone to the Lotus Sanctum. My name is Chris, and so this message is a timeless message that I tap into Goddess and communicate through what message that she has to communicate with you guys in this time. Something that I wanted to focus on is the sense of ease in your body to feel pleasure. And I'm saying this because it's one of the most natural things that we want to do, want to have, want to experience. We want to live pleasure. But that comes through with friction, with contrast, and a sense that it's not possible. So we do what we need to do. We create the self-lived hell, torture, and of sorts to say that we can't have pleasure, and then that's what we crave for more. And so when we do experience little things that give us a little bit of that taste, we're like, we just want it, and you become addicted to pleasure. At the same time, that is the addictive play, which is seeing that pleasure is just something that is small and short-lived, and there's nothing long-lasting to it. The truest place of pleasure comes from this place where we lean into it as much as we accept that there will be pain, heartbreak, challenge, and the okayness to have that and lean into it and to fall into it. And you're like, if I can experience full pleasure, then that also includes pain and struggle. It's also an invitation for this contrast to exist. And so the more I want pleasure and to go into the depths of it, that also means to lean more into the pleasures of the self and the pains of the self, and to find relief from it, to liberate ourselves. It's one of the greatest cosmic jokes that exists. It's just how we are. It's how we're designed. It's also something that um that Goddess gets to experience and that she gets to communicate with us, and she gets to also enjoy it too because she experiences it for herself. She's highly entertained, and we're so happy and pleased to give her that experience. We want to serve her, we want to please her, we want to entertain her, we want to play with her. And so she does the same with us too. She plays. Um, I just find it quite amusing that we just really enjoy the pain and struggle just for the sake of it. Um, and I know this may not be something that suits and is easeful in certain people, in a group of you, and that's okay. And at the same time, just lean into what does feel true and right for you. Um, if you had told me this very thing a year ago, I don't think I would have understood it completely. But now, in the experience of it, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, wow, okay. Okay. Just trying to see what's coming through. Just got a bit quiet. Actually, it's actually quite noisy, but not able to necessarily focus in on it. Alright, so let me bring it back to feeling and wanting pleasure in the body and to experience the full spectrum of it. Um, Sometimes we just do enjoy the short pulses, right? The shallow pulses of pleasure. Sometimes we like the big bangs, uh, the intensities of it. And sometimes there's pleasure in the pain. It's an interesting little contrast that we get to play with. And whatever your little jam is, whatever that little recipe is that excites you, that inspires you, that makes you want to go to a certain depth, a certain level, lean into it, see what comes from that. Because what might be too intense for someone isn't for another. And you will find people around you or meet new people that do share certain similarities with you, certain ideas. And sometimes you will meet people that don't share the ideas necessarily, but they're willing to have a conversation. And they're willing to hear your story, your perspective, and they have the capacity to move through it and not to reject it and push it away. And sometimes we ourselves begin to have the courage to be able to tell the story, to tell the idea, the concept, and know that it is not going to be rejected or pushed away, but um, it doesn't need to be embraced either, but it's being heard, and it's giving you this space and this environment to find clarity and to experience the full spectrum of that clarity and vision. So having the courage to lean into that, seeing where life will take you there, and seeing how the type of um, power that comes from that, from owning a pleasure place, from owning an expansion, from wanting to just being in full pleasure of it, it's an aspect of yourself and of what's possible that you get to lean into, and it's an aspect that you begin to see where there is this wild looking um, animal or wild looking flower or wild looking shape expression that becomes that would actually have you scared and pissing your pants. But now that space is like, oh, this is just a new thing that I get to experience and embody, and it's okay. And you know what? I actually kind of enjoy it. I find ease and pleasure and joy in this space. And I didn't know that it was okay to want it and to ask for it and to see how it unfolds. I didn't know that I can lean into it, that I can have the emotional charge that I did and have another emotional charge that I do want to have, but I didn't know that was possible to have it. I didn't even know how to. have it. I never experienced it. I have no reference point to it. So to see to see yourself in a way, experience the beauty and the pleasure of what is living in your body and what is possible, is how you grow, how you expand, how you lean in. And it just becomes the walk that you have. It just becomes this embodiment of who you are, of what you do, of how you speak, of connecting more and more with the people that are similar to you, and still having the capacity to connect with the people that you could not be more different. And yet there is a level of commonality that you get to show up together and still have a conversation and still get to share, you know what, there's this little thing that I found out about. Um, and it's amazing. And usually that the people in our lives that, you know, have that contrast are either our childhood friends and or our families, the ones that we're born into. Um, yeah. Okay. Um, what are you trying to say? Okay, fine. Um, and so this is a way that you get to ground into your being, ground what is possible, what is um, present and available in your body, in your life, in your being, in your knowingness, and seeing how you can um, create exactly what you need to and intend to create. There's, you know, there's this play on contrast that allows us to um, be creative. And so it's in this contrast that we find our pleasures, that we get creative with how can we have pleasure? Where does it show up? How do we want it to show up? What if we did these little things? Does it add up to pleasure? Where is that? Um, what is the expression that the body wants to put out? And it always wants to put out something with ease. Even the challenges and obstacles, they are still there in the most easeful way that it possibly can be, because you are still to live out the pleasure, to experience the pleasure, to experience the contrast. It is still necessary and vital for your evolution, for your growth, and not only you, but also the environment that you're in. Just as much as we get inspired by um, the nature around us, energetically, we are inspired by the nature around us to grow and expand. We learn from it. We move based off of what we see in nature. You know, nature is our teacher. And the thing is, we are also nature's teacher. When we are abundant and playful and have the courage to move through these contrasts, these polarities, nature also learns from that and begins to give you the support, the nourishment, the ideas, right? That breeze, that sun that inspires you, that view that inspires you, so you can continue to bloom and blossom. Like, This earth allows us to take its resources, not to deplete it, but to take its resources so we can grow and so it can grow. We also take the resources so there isn't um, too much. And we're beings that also groom our environment. There's a need for human beings, just like there's a need for different species. And so, what I'm trying to say is allow yourself to lean into pleasure. Just because you are in pleasure does not mean you are indulgent and that you will deplete and take away from your environment. If anything, because you're in such pleasure, it gives you the capacity to overflow. And with that overflow, you literally give back. You find the solutions, you find the words, you find the creativity to give back, and you keep doing more and more of that. You are in pure and utter service. It's when you are satiated and when you are in pleasure, your satiation then and becomes in you being in service. Like it's a necessary thing for you to do, for you to be, is when you are in service. And so, what is it going to take for you to show up in this space, in this environment, in this earth, to give exactly what you need to give, to be exactly who you are meant to be? Know that you will always give in the way that you are pleased and you are satisfied. You always will be. And to allow yourself to have the courage to experience the full spectrum of your pleasure. It will teach you so much about yourself. It will teach you so much about your environment. It will teach you about the needs that will help support your environment as well, internal or external environments. You will learn how to be in service as much as be in pleasure. Lean into it and discover yourself, discover this earth, discover this magic. There is a great pleasure in that, and there's a great ease in that. And it takes courage to lean into it and to step into it, to keep moving down that path. What you create and what you generate may not be permanent, but it inspires. So allow for that inspiration to flow, allow for the pleasure to flow. It will take you to a place where you just are, and you just get to bask in all the beings that just are, all the living things that just are. Eventually, you get to experience the way that Earth breathes, and you just move in tandem with her. It's the most effortless way of living. Doesn't mean that excuses pain and challenges. That'll still be there, but you begin to listen to the rhythm of Earth, of her, and it's this beautiful dance that just happens. Lean into it. Lean into your pleasures and watch life unfold for you. So I'm going to be leaving the message there. No, you wanted more? Wow, this one little thing wants to come out, which is your pleasure is your self-discovery. Um, It allows you to see who you are, to see the genuine aspects of you, the parts of you that are scary to embody. It lives in pleasure and it'll surprise you, but it allows you to be curious. So allow yourself to experience the full spectrum of pleasure within you. Um, wow, okay, yeah, so now that's all that wants to come through, and so I wish you guys all the best, and I'll be speaking to you guys soon. Bye.